Welcome to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to all viewers, subscribers, and supporters. I invite you to subscribe to the channel and share videos. In this episode, I will talk about changing the oil in the Mercedes 5G-Tronic automatic transmission. So to the point. Changing the oil in the Mercedes 5G-Tronic automatic transmission, internal designation 722.6, is a key service activity that significantly affects its service life and smooth operation. Although Mercedes initially promoted this oil as lifetime, experience shows that regular replacement is essential. Important notes before starting. Recommended visit to a specialist. Changing the oil in an automatic transmission requires specialist knowledge, tools, including diagnostic tools, and precision. Errors can lead to serious damage. If you do not have experience, entrust this task to an authorized Mercedes service or a workshop specializing in automatic transmissions. Oil type. Only ATF, automatic transmission fluid, oil that meets the Mercedes specification should be used. For the 5G-Tronic gearbox, these are MB 236.10, MB 236.12, or MB 236.14. MB 236.14 oil is often recommended as a replacement because it is more resistant to aging and backward compatible. Always check which oil is recommended for your specific car, e.g. by VIN number. Oil quantity. For a dynamic change, approximately 7 to 8 liters of oil are usually needed. For a static change, from the pan only, approximately 3 to 4 liters are enough. A dynamic change is recommended because it allows much more used oil and impurities to be removed. Replacement parts. Gearbox oil filter. Oil pan gasket. New oil pan bolts recommended. Gearbox drain plug washer. Converter drain plug washer, if the transmission has a converter drain plug. New transmission electrical socket, if the old one is leaking or has a damaged gasket. Oil change procedure. Detailed description. The following are the general steps. Always refer to the manufacturer's service documentation, e.g. WS/ASRA, for exact torques and specifications. Phase 1. Preparing and draining the old oil. 1. Warm up the transmission. Before starting, make sure the transmission oil is warm after a short drive. This will make draining easier and remove more contaminants. 2. Position the vehicle. Raise the vehicle on a jack or place it on a pit, providing safe access to the underside of the vehicle. 3. Remove the covers. Remove the plastic covers under the engine and transmission. 4. Draining the oil from the pan. Place a container under the gearbox oil pan to collect the used oil. Unscrew the drain plug from the pan, usually a 5 mm Allen key, and allow all the oil to drain. 5. Draining the oil from the converter, if there's a plug. Most 5G-Tronic gearboxes have a drain plug on the torque converter. To find it, turn the engine crankshaft, e.g. with a wrench on the bolt on the pulley, to the right clockwise until the converter drain plug becomes visible in the inspection hole in the gearbox housing. Unscrew the converter drain plug and allow the oil to drain completely. This is a key step for a complete oil change, as the converter holds a significant portion of the total oil volume. If your 5G-Tronic model does not have a cap on the converter, less common in 5G-Tronic, more common in 7G-Tronic, then a full replacement is only possible by dynamic replacement using a special machine. 6. Dismantling the oil pan. After draining the oil, unscrew the screw securing the oil pan, usually a Torx E10 key. Carefully remove the pan, as there may still be some oil in it. 7. Replacing the filter. Remove the old gearbox oil filter, is pressed or screwed on. 8. Cleaning the pan. Thoroughly clean the oil pan of any dirt and filings. There are magnets in it that collect metal particles. Clean them too. 9. Replacing the electrical socket. Optional, but recommended if you notice oil leaking from the electrical socket on the gearbox, usually on the front right. Replace it with a new one along with the gasket. Old gaskets become brittle, which leads to leaks in oil pulling up the wiring harness to the controller. Phase 2. Assembly and filling with new oil. 1. Assembly of new parts. Install a new oil filter, making sure it is seated properly. Install a new oil pan gasket. Tighten the oil pan with new bolts to the correct torque, usually around 8 Newton meters, but check for your model. Tighten evenly in a crisscross pattern. Screw in the converter drain plug, if there was one, with a new washer and tighten to the correct torque. Screw in the oil pan drain plug with a new washer. 2. Initial filling. Initially pour in about 4 to 5 liters of new ATF oil through the dipstick tube, if there is one, or through the filler hole, for gearboxes without a dipstick. 3. Start the engine and oil distribution. Start the engine. Leave it idling in the P position. 4. Gear shifting. With the engine running, slowly shift the gear selector through all positions, P and RP, several times, pausing for a few seconds in each position. This will distribute the oil throughout the entire gearbox system, including the valves and clutches. 5. Setting the oil level. This is the most important and precise step. Mercedes 5G-Tronic often does not have a user dipstick. A special service dipstick is used to check the level, which is inserted into the tube. This dipstick has graduations for checking the level on cold and hot oil. The oil temperature is crucial. The level is checked with the engine running in the P or N position when the gearbox oil temperature reaches 80 degrees Celsius. This should be monitored using a diagnostic computer, Star Diagnosis/Sentry, or a precise infrared thermometer. Continue topping up the oil in small portions, approximate 0.5 liters at a time, until the level on the service dipstick is between the two upper lines, indicating hot/80 degrees Celsius. Remove the service dipstick and replace the cap that seals the dipstick tube. 6. Adaptation procedure, recommended after changing the oil. In many cases, it is recommended to perform the gearbox adaptation procedure using a diagnostic computer. This involves deleting old adaptation values and relearning the gearbox, which ensures smoother operation and better adaptation to driving style. Also check for any errors in the gearbox controller and delete them. After replacement, monitor the gearbox operation for a few days. Pay attention to the smoothness of gear changes, lack of jerks, correct engagement of all gears. Check for any leaks. Remember that accuracy and cleanliness are the most important when servicing automatic gearboxes. An incorrect procedure or use of the wrong oil can destroy the gearbox. Thank you for watching the podcast video, and I invite you to subscribe to the Automotive Freak channel. Greetings to everyone, and see you in the next episode. See you soon.